I just would rather keep the powder dry and until things are a little more clear, because they're not clear at all right now. So having said all that murkiness, let's jump in. And there's still a few charts, bless them, that still have interesting setups, and I definitely want to show those. So let's go through the good and the bad now. So here's EFA, and this is an ETF, which is equities outside North America, and it's a pretty clean setup. And like I said, I don't have a lot of positions now. This is one of them. I'm short this, but with a lot of stocks just today. It opened kind of weak and it's trading kind of strong right now. It's still down, but not much, 0.5%. But the setup is, we've got this beautiful wedge pattern, and we have, and I'm seeing this in a number of places here, an island reversal pattern. That is to say, we have Thursday, last Thursday, then we have Friday, and then today. And the key thing is that Friday's low is higher than today's high and Thursday's high. There's air between both of those bars, so that's an island reversal gap. Whether that'll actually mean anything or not remains to be seen. But so far, that's kind of a classic reversal setup. So yeah, that's EFA, short that, and for the moment, it's looking good. Also short a smaller amount of FXI, China. This is a right triangle setup. It's up a little now, 0.19%. If it pushes past this line, okay, forget it, I'm out. But as of now, it's still a nice little pattern. These are just good old-fashioned classic technical setups. What I'm definitely not short and not going anywhere near is anything domestic, like, say, for example, the spider. This illustrates nicely just wackiness of this, because look at this. This is the pre-Liberation Day setup here. So here's the spider. It fell, it retraced, tagged that pattern beautifully, so pushed it higher, and then the real fall came in. Whee! Down we go. So that's a nice classic setup. Fall, push back to resistance, then fall harder. Ain't nothing doing like that this time, because we had a beautiful pattern here. Let's, RIP pattern here. Let's just kind of highlight it. And it fell and then pushed back, so that seemed to be the retrace. And then it just went blasting higher. This huge gap here in particular changed everything. And it has just not cared one whit in the world about news, good, bad, or indifferent. Since then, it just keeps flying higher. We are off a little right now, about 0.25%. So this is probably the first day in a while. We're not at lifetime highs, but you can see just how sharp and brutal that lift has been. And the first little signal that maybe things are turning bearish again would be if it cracks below this former peak again. But yeah, this goes back to the whole Antarctica thing. It is just white outside. The small caps, IWM, are actually up right now and are almost certainly going to close at another lifetime high. So IWM is up about 0.6%. And it has been, just like with everything else, pretty much unrelentingly higher since the end of March. So there it goes. And terribly sorry, there's nothing I can say about this chart except, gee, it sure is going up a lot, which is the case with a lot of charts out there. Definitely separating the wheat from the chaff is an important part of the process these days. XLK technology, very similar situation of just a heartbreaker of a pattern not doing what it's supposed to do in the end. This was a beautiful rounded top. I've seen a million of them. I've done this a while. Next year marks 40 years of doing this. And so we had our break, our retrace, and then things started acting kind of funny, which these 4 or 5 bars right here. And they got not funny at all and just blasted higher. So it is just ripped past this. It's almost like there's this unknown force happening that is just compelling these prices higher with this force of volume, this force of buying pressure. And I do not know what it is, but it is out there clearly because it simply refuses to weaken, no matter what the news. The news is pretty bad right now, and nobody seems to care. But, it's a phrase I can't stand, but it is the truth. Trade the chart in front of you, and the chart in front of you just seems to want to go higher. Same deal here with the what we were talking about with this spider earlier. Exact same setup. Look at that setup here. Fall, retrace, fall hard. No fall and hard here. The retrace happened, and then it just changed the story mid-chapter. Here are the cubes. Kind of a similar setup. Not quite as dramatic a blast higher, but we are down a little on this, 0.3%, and we are above that range we've been in for months. So it's, and here's the other thing. If we start falling, even I am not going to be like, well, here we go, now's party time again. No, it's just, this is so messy right now. I'm a neat freak. I like things tidy, and I'll be the first to report good, clean patterns. But there's it's going to take a while before the smoke clears, and we can see what's going on more clearly now, because this is just a crazy mess right now. And there's some weird things going on, as I talked about last week, with like bird and car, things like that. Just it's not just canaries in the coal mine. It's more of a funhouse mirrors going on. Very hard to suss out what's happening. Semiconductors. These two were in a pattern, broke down, and have been blasting higher ever since. They're looking a little weary now, but this could just be digesting all those gains. It's down to 0.1% right now. On an intraday basis, actually hit another lifetime high. It's just kind of hanging out here in the ionosphere. And of course, more dramatic than that is SOXL, which is the leverage bullish semiconductor fund. And this had this nice little wedge pattern, which it broke and then also went blasting above it. And it is up over the course of the past few weeks, over 100%. So there are times, I mean, oftentimes levered funds tend to kind of eat themselves alive. But if you have a trend that's persisting, it can just compounded interest. It just feeds on itself. You know, if you have a market that's going up and down pretty consistently, that leverage fund will just grind away to zero. But this is a strong trend for a few weeks, so you can get triple-digit percentage gains. Speaking of weird charts, CAR is still loony. The past, probably every single day for the past month, you could just hurl money at it, and you would just make more money every day. It is a green bar virtually every day. This is the one little exception. But it's just blasting higher, and it would be amazing to figure out what on earth is happening with this. I guess the simplest explanation is that it's a really hot meme stock, and it keeps attracting more money, and it's the very expensive game of musical chairs. Because car rental companies going up 500% in a month, the music will stop at some point, but it hasn't stopped yet. And I guess maybe some people out there have tried to short it, not me, promise, and have gotten run over. And then when it does collapse, they'll be like, oh, I missed it. But, you know, there could be $3,000 a share next week. There's no telling with this. So really amazing to watch from a really discrete distance. As I said, semiconductors might be taking a bit of a breather here finally. Here we have AMD down 1.17%, which is like a crash these days. Micron, lifetime highs on Friday, but we're slipping today about 1.75%. Nvidia is down less, 0.3%. And the only kind of technical feature to keep an eye on here is this gap, this price gap, which is getting pretty close to. But this has been range bound for like 9 months now. Pretty amazing. ASTS that I have puts on took a tumble today, 6.29%. I guess there was a mishap, I think, with Blue Origin. Something did not go right in Rocket Land. I also on Friday shorted Infosys INFY because of this tremendous. This is not my charting platform, so I can't speak to it. But I think this is maybe a data spike that might not. Shouldn't be there. I can't say, so just pretend it's not there. But I think we've got a nice head and shoulders pattern here, and we fell and we're retracing. It's a pretty good looking pattern to my eyes. Meta, META is down pretty decently, about 2 2/3%, following this big push higher. We're starting to weaken somewhat on that, and the handful of puts I do still have are at least to September. So that Meta is an example. Also, Amazon strangely, on Friday, which was a really, really bullish day, Amazon rose, but just a little bit. And as you can see, it was a rather weak day. It opened very strong and closed off weak, and it's falling some more. And there's a cool little trend line, which does a pretty good job showing where it conked its head on resistance, and it's reversing away from that. Another high flyer that's taking maybe a breather short of this earlier today is AXTI, which is AXTI, and they're down 6.5%. Who knows if it'll stick or not, because this thing has had lots of backing and filling for many, many months now. And because I missed you on Friday, we didn't get a chance to talk about Netflix, but it took a hard fall. It's about the only red on the screen on Friday. Took a hard fall on Friday, and it's adding to those losses today. It's down another about 2.5%. And it was a pretty cool setup too, because you can see it peaked here, and since then it was just a bunch of lower highs. You got lower high, lower high, lower high, and so forth. And the last major lower high was right there, which is we got just below it. So that price line did a pretty good job showing where resistance was, because it got quite close on, I guess that would be Thursday, and then fell out of bed on Friday. So that big pop started to undo that. Over in precious metals land, a bit of a slip here, about 0.8% down on GLD. We've got some gaps working in our favor. As I said, I think precious is going to be prone to weakness. Miners, which I'm short, GDX down 1.09%. There's the gap on that one. That's key. Just stay beneath that. Silver had its crazy peak here on January 29, and since then has engaged in a series also of lower highs. And my old friend Palladium, I actually think is probably in for a rough ride too. Here's a pretty well-defined head and shoulders top on this one. We're starting to sink beneath that. So closing out, a couple of items here. Bitcoin, we are down on this. On the futures, like $1,280, but the critical resistance is right where that price gap is, around 81,000. And lastly, one last look at this Zany ES. There it is. We are down at the moment, but you'll note the bar is green. Like I say, we may be opening weak, but the market just seems to want to go up irrespective of the news. So there we have the slice right higher, and we'll be closing near lifetime highs.